What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Recreational Sports Heroes channel. And today I'm sitting with Cousin Dave. I call him Cousin Dave because he is my cousin. What's going on, Cousin
What's
Dave?
going on, John?
All
Just
right.
chilling.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving by the time this video is posted. It won't be Thanksgiving, but we're all thankful. Anyway, we're going to get back into David's recreational sports moments, him growing up. So, what sports did you like playing growing up?
Well, when I was in seventh grade, I played basketball and I was in cross country track. Then I got into football and I played football from 7th to 12th. And lacrosse, probably from JV over to varsity. So I played a lot of sports.
Played a lot of sports. He played a lot of sports. Now, what was your favorite sport?
My favorite sport was football. I wanted to, on the off season, I tended to work out with weights a lot so I could gain my strength to be ready for football. So I'd stay off of basketball because basketball I would lose weight by running too much. So I wanted to off season work out with the weights. So that's what I did. I just played football. Spent all my attention on football.
Okay. So you played with a very special person that went on very high in your high school career. That was high school, right? You're talking about when we.
Right there, that was high school. Yeah, Marco Rivera, number 62. He played for the Packers and the Cowboys. We used to carpool together, and we played on the same defensive line together in high school, Elmont Memorial High School.
So you hear that, folks? The guy that I'm sitting next to played. Someone went on to play for NFL and won a Super Bowl title with the Green Bay Packers. That's amazing. So, what kind of was he? Good guy or how?
Yeah, he was always a good, humble guy, quiet guy, but nice guy. And he was a lot younger than me, a couple of years, a couple of grades younger than me. But he
Okay.
started for varsity because he was so big and talented. And
Oh, so he
yeah,
started right into varsity.
he started at the varsity.
So
Yeah,
you were on the varsity team, and he was what?
in 10th grade
Oh,
playing. Yeah.
he was playing varsity ball in 10th grade. So, you remember any moments playing with him? Anything that happened in the game?
I just remember that he was so dominant. He would pick up fumbles, run in touchdowns. He would block passes from the quarterback, sack the quarterback a lot. Just remember him being completely dominant and totally a lot better than everybody else and a lot bigger than everybody else. He was
Wow.
always a nice guy, though. And we used to carpool together because he lived 2 blocks away from my house.
So you remember that, folks. Marco Rivera is the name. And where did he play in the NFL? What position?
He played offensive guard. He actually won a national championship with the Penn State Nittany Lions with Kerry Collins.
Wow.
And then the Super Bowl he won with Brett Favre.
Wow. Amazing. And we actually went to that game, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We went to the Super Bowl and won a all expense paid raffle ticket.
And that's an amazing story in itself because I only went to one Super Bowl in my life. And my phone rings one day. I pick it up. It's my cousin on the phone, and he tells me he won Super Bowl tickets. And I'm like, wow, that's great. And I'm like, not thinking of it. And he goes, there's another part. I'm taking you. And I'm like, I was like, what? You taking me to the Super Bowl? You won tickets? So how'd you get those Super Bowl tickets?
Well, it turned out to be, in the beginning, it was an unfortunate event. My friend Freddie was shot and killed in the line of duty in the NYPD.
Wow.
And yeah, it was rough. So what happened was I went on the side and I talked to his friend, Lieutenant Dom, and I gave some cash to Lieutenant Dom. And I told him, listen here, don't tell anybody about this, but just give this money to Freddie's wife and kid, to have something to fall upon, to have some money for this horrible event. And then what happened was, because of that, a few weeks later, Lieutenant Dom came up to me and said that they were having a Super Bowl raffle to raise more money for Freddie's family. I ended up picking my name out of a huge box, and I won.
He won the raffle, and he took me to the Super Bowl with him. I remember that experience. We went on Bourbon Street. It was in New Orleans. And we had a great time in Bourbon Street. I remember that. It was amazing. But it was all Super Bowl people. We went to the NFL experience. I remember that. And then we had dinner a few nights out. And then we went to the Super Bowl. And then a more unbelievable story happened after that. We're sitting in these seats, great seats, unbelievable seats. And we see a man and a woman, an older, I mean, this is a crazy story, sitting down. And a man approaches us, and his wife is crying in the background. We see this from afar. He takes out money and he says, my wife is scared of heights. You remember that? Am I telling the story right?
That's right.
She said, my wife started, I said, I'll give you this money if you trade seats with us. And we're kids at this. We're like in our early 20s. So We look at the cash. The guy tells us he's from Green Bay. Green Bay's in the Super Bowl against New England. Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback back then.
Right.
And then he goes, he knew we were Cowboy fans, or he asked us what kind of fan.
I had a Cowboy sweatshirt on.
He was wearing a Cowboy shirt, and he asked us what Cowboy fan. And he says, and I guarantee you next year, he knew already to schedule that the Cowboys were going to be playing the Packers. And he goes, I'm going to take you I'll give you tickets to the Packers game if you just trade seats with us. I mean, our seats were nice. We were like.
Well, if I can interject for a second, you got it a little off.
Okay.
What happened was I had a Dallas Cowboy sweatshirt on, and he offered me $500 to switch seats with him.
It was $500.
And I told him, just give me $250, and I'll switch seats with you because your wife is scared of heights. And I have my Dallas Cowboy sweatshirt on, and he points to my shirt and says, "You're a Dallas fan?" I said, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "Well, because you did that, I'm giving you 3 tickets to Dallas Green Bay next year on me."
3 or 2?
3.
So you had 3 tickets to the
Dallas Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, I went with my father and Tony. Remember Tony?
Oh, Tony went with you too.
Yeah.
Okay. So we wound up trading the seats with them. We were up top, and the seats were very steep, so I understand where they were coming from, where the wife was scared of the heights. But he told us. I remember he did tell us though, don't tell her that he gave you some cash. He gave you. Remember that part?
I don't remember.
I remember that part.
To be honest, I don't remember that.
Because she was upset, like, how'd you get those?
Right,
something like that. She was like, how'd you get these guys to trade seats with you? Anyway, he offered the tickets, and I remember you went to the game. So then he called me back. I thought I was going to that Green Bay game now, and Dave said, "I'm sorry, I'm going to take my father." So I said, "Listen, I went to the Super Bowl. I didn't care. I was a little upset, but what am I going to do?" And I remember a moment at that game. You told me he went to that game in Green Bay, and it's all Packer fans. He's a Dallas fan. He went to see the Cowboys. And Deion Sanders intercepts a pass. You remember that?
That's right, yes.
Deion Sanders intercepts a ball from Brett Favre. Was Brett Favre quarterbacking?
Brett Favre was quarterback.
And he jumps up going crazy. This is the story you told me. And then your father, that you took to the game, he said, "Don't do that here again." Something like that.
Yeah, I was jumping up and down going, "Yeah,
Deion.
Yeah, go, Deion, go." Then I looked around, everybody was sitting down. It was quiet as anything, and I had to sit down and bury my head. I felt so stupid.
Crazy moment. So anyway, but Cowboys wound up losing that game, right?
Oh yeah, they wound up getting destroyed by like over 30.
So after that, it's all over. Now your father's ready to leave. What happens? That's another funny story. How cold was it in Green Bay, by the way?
It was like 20 below zero. It was freezing. And my father was ready to go. He was about to get up, and the people next to him said, "No, you can't get up. We're having the 5th quarter." My father said, "What's the 5th quarter?" He said, "That's when the Wisconsin marching band comes out. Everybody cheers." And my father was freezing.
So he said he's ready to go home. It's freezing cold. Now you got to stay for a marching band, and you can't leave. Sounds like a Steinfeld moment. You can't. No, you can't. You got to wear the ribbon.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he stayed through the cold. He went through. And what happened later that night? I remember or before the game, Marco met you, right?
Later that night, we got together with Marco. Marco told us to meet him at Arby's, the fast food joint.
He met you at a fast food place?
We were at a fast food place. He said, "I'll be in the truck." And he described the truck to us. We met him at Arby's. We followed him, and we went to Tino Martinez's. And he introduced us to about 15 Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
And they were all very nice, and we had a good time. We drank a few beers with them. We had a good time out.
Wow, unbelievable. So he played high school in Elmont High School. That was your high school, Elmont High School. Marco Rivera. We went to go see him from tickets he won in the Super Bowl. Then he went to Green Bay the next year, watched him play Cowboys, then went out to eat with him or did something, met all Green Bay. Amazing story. Well, right here, folks, this is a true recreational sports hero, Dave Hendrick. Thanks for the great story.
You're welcome, John. My pleasure.
And we'll get you definitely on the podcast again. Great interview. And that's it. Take it easy.